Welcome to the Aquinas' first ever audio version of Athlete Spotlight, where we get to talk one-on-one with the Scranton Athletic Department's Athlete of the Week. And now, doing this as an audio version, maybe like a short podcast, if you will, it never was really a thought when the Aquinas was a weekly print newspaper. But last spring, the decision was made to move online only, really trying to break away from traditional media, no more print. So I had the thought, since we're no longer doing just print, why not let you guys listen to the interview instead of reading it, instead of the Q&A transcription. Well, here we are, basically episode 1, I guess, and today I'm joined by a senior who has been a staple of the men's basketball team and is having his best season ever. He started all 23 games, averaging a double-double this season. He's got averaging 13 points a game, 10 rebounds a game. He's a 6'8" center from Mechanicsburg, PA. I got Drew Schankweiler in the radio station with me today. Drew, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by after practice.
Yep. Glad to be here. The first podcast.
So last week, you had a pretty good week. Got named Athlete of the Week, obviously. Against Drew, you had 16 points, 16 rebounds, 2 blocks in the 77-65 win. Then you had that tough game against Catholic, but you still put up 19 and 15 rebounds, another block, 3 assists that game. You don't get them. That's rare.
Too much.
Yeah. Just talk about your personal performance. Talk about the games last week a little bit.
So we played Drew on Wednesday, and that was pretty much a must-win for us. They're in first place of the conference, and we beat them here at home. So we had a great game plan going in. We executed it very well, and we just top to bottom. We played well offensive and defensively, and pulled away late at the end and won by close to 10. So that was a great win for us, and we knew we had to, moving on from that, Saturday was also pretty much a must-win. If we would have won on Saturday, it would have made our chances of getting into playoffs a lot better. Saturday we came out great. We're up at the half and then even extended our lead to 18, and then that was they put up a great effort to obviously come back, and we just kind of started to crumble. And I think one of the biggest things that hurt us was the turnovers. I think we had close, if not 20, we had close to 20 turnovers, and that's just never good in a basketball game. And just came down the last couple possessions, and we unfortunately came up on the short end. But our hopes of the playoffs aren't done. We went out and then get some help from some other teams in the conference. There's still a chance we get in, and then who knows what can happen from there. So we just gotta take it game by game. We got 2 left, and just see what we can control, and hope someone else helps us out.
Yeah, it's absolutely possible. I don't think it'd be a landmark playoff without Scranton in it.
Yeah.
And you played behind Boken. You played behind Vitkis. How have you adjusted this year to seeing an increased role this year? You have increased playing time.
Like you said, I played behind Boken and Vickers my first 3 years here, and they just battling against them every day at practice and learning from them and watching them made me a much better player, and I'm glad that I went through that. And then this year, I'm really just, with the guards that we have and their shooting ability, it helps me out a lot more, because if they're hitting down threes and they're doing stuff on the perimeter, it takes a little more focus off of the guys inside, so Matt and I can do our thing. And then if they start putting more pressure on us inside, we can kick it out and they can just knock down shots. So it's really a good 1-2 punch when you have both of those strong suits on a team. So I'm lucky to have the guys around me that I have.
What do you bring to the table as a player? Like, what's your skill set, if you could describe it?
I play hard. I take great pride in the way I rebound the ball, both offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. In the last couple of games, I think I've been doing a great job of that, just trying to get as many rebounds as I can, so then they don't get another opportunity on offense, and then we can go down and score. Because if a team gets offensive rebounds against us, it's just more time we have to work on defense, and it wears us out and hurts us because they have more opportunities to put points on the board. So if I can do my part and control the rebounds and push it, they can push it in transition and turn us into points. So I take great pride in rebounding, and I know everyone else does too, because they box out and then I just clean it up. So it helps. It's a 5-man effort.
So why did you choose to come play for Scranton? What got you in the purple and white, rather, actually?
So when you walk in the Scranton gym, you look up and you just see all the championships, all the conference championships on the wall. You see a couple national championships on the wall. It's just a historic place to play. And Coach Danzig, he knows how to win. He's got many conference championships under him, and they just bring in talented players. And as soon as I stepped on campus, I fell in love with it. Even outside of the basketball program, I just love the school, and I knew as soon as I came here, this is where I wanted to be, and it's the best decision I made. I'm glad I played my 4 years here, and it's been an awesome experience. And if I could go back and do it again, I would do the same exact thing in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's the camaraderie like among your teammates, and like what are your teammates like in the locker room? And has it changed at all over the years or over the season even?
I'd say, I mean, I'm lucky to be surrounded by the guys that we've had on the team. Over my 4 years, all those guys are my brothers. I mean, they're some of my best friends, and I'll keep in touch with them even after I graduate. And then especially this year, this is the most fun I've ever had on a basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, top to bottom, we're all extremely close. Like, we push each other, but we also know how to have fun on the court, in the locker room, when we're hanging out outside of the gym. I mean, it's just a brotherhood, and that goes a long way. If you guys are close, you build chemistry, and it just helps you guys play well. And I mean, we still have a couple weeks left, and I'm gonna be bummed when it's over. But I mean, I said, I'm gonna be in touch with these guys for the rest of my life, and I'm lucky to be surrounded by them.
Mm-hmm. I think that's true for like any club, especially a sports team. You guys are working together literally every day.
Yep.
Now I know Danzig broke the 3-point record, but do you ever get on him because you I don't know if you know this, you're perfect on threes in your career. You're 1 for 1. You got a 1,000%. Like,
yeah.
do you ever get on him for that? You ever like, hey, you know I'm perfect, right?
No, we know like I said, we have a lot of great shooters on the team, but for him to break that record is pretty cool. I mean, he puts in the work, and he can really shoot the ball, and for him to get that record was awesome, and we were all happy for him. And that was pretty early in the year, so I don't really know the exact gap, but I'm sure he crushed the old record compared to where he is now.
Oh yeah, and he's still going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Who's the funniest guy on the team?
Funniest guy on the team?
Yeah, if you had to pick one.
I'd have to say Danny Doolin. He's a sophomore. Kevin Doolin's younger brother. He's hilarious. Just I don't even think he tries to do it sometimes, but some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is just hysterical. So he's a lot of fun to be around.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a bunch of other guys who are they know how to make you laugh, and that's what makes it fun.
Do you have any like specific pregame rituals? Any superstitions? Pregame meal? Something like that?
Not really. I used to always eat a banana before the game, but then I kind of stopped getting bananas. So it kind of really depends on what the Naples has for me.
Okay, all right.
I would usually eat that like 15 minutes before the tip-off. But other than that, I'm not too superstitious. I know some guys are very superstitious, but I try to stick to the same routine with how I warm up. I get taped, how I warm up upstairs, how I stretch, but I wouldn't say I'm too I don't stick to an exactly specific plan, but I like to try to stay close.
Right.
I'm comfortable going into the game, and I know what's going to happen.
Okay. Now, I know your team goal is the landmark championship. That's what everybody says. Everybody's goal is to win the conference. Do you have a personal goal you're trying to meet this season, or have you met it already?
No, I wouldn't say that. I was never really the type of guy to make personal goals. I mean, I do have personal goals. I wouldn't say I want accolades or anything like that. Like, I really just want to win. I already got 2 conference championships, and just to be able to end my basketball career winning another landmark championship and to see that banner be raised, it's just that's really all I wanted coming into this year, and coming into even as a freshman, I knew I just wanted to win as many games as I could. And so if we have that opportunity, like, I would be very happy to go out on top, and we have a chance of doing that, so we'll just have to handle what we can control.
Absolutely. Who has been your mentor? Like, who's been with you throughout your career, and what's like the best advice they've given you?
Easily my parents. My parents have done everything for me dating back to when I first started playing basketball, and they have always supported me no matter what. I mean, my 4 years here, I can't think of one single game that they've missed, and I don't think there's many other kids that are blessed to have parents like that. Even if it was somewhere far away, they'd be there. Whether I was playing the whole game or, like, as a freshman I didn't play at all, they still came to support, and that just means the world to me. And I wouldn't have achieved anything if it weren't for them. So I'm blessed to have them as my parents.
Mm-hmm. Were they athletes too? So they do anything? Any sports in college? Or
they didn't play in college. My dad was an athlete growing up.
Uh-huh.
My mom did too. But they love sports. They love to watch sports. But they'll, like, even at home, we'll be in the driveway. They used to go out and shoot with me and stuff like that. But they've always supported myself, my brother, my sister, and anything we were playing. So they were always around the game.
All right. What do you plan on doing after college? It says you're a business administration major. What are your plans after college? What are you sticking with basketball at all, or are you?
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to keep playing basketball, but I think my career is probably coming to an end here after this year.
What about coaching?
I've thought about it. I think it would all depend on the situation, where, what level, what else I'm doing. But I think as of right now, I'm trying to find a job in New York City in the business field. So once the season's over, I'm gonna hit that pretty hard, try to find something following graduation to start this summer, and we'll see where it takes me.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by after practice today. Drew Schankweiler, senior center of the University of Scranton men's basketball team. They got a big game coming up at Susquehanna on Wednesday, and they close the season out Saturday against winless Goucher, so that should be a good one.